I do want to now welcome in Republican strategist Matt Klink to join us in this discussion. So, Matt, Democrat Congressman Jim Hines says the president is illegally paying TSA agents. Let's take a listen.
The standoff is not done yet, right? The president is illegally paying, apparently, TSA agents. This thing is still very much live for one very simple reason. We can talk about House, Senate, changing law for one very simple reason, which is that the vast majority of Americans look at the way ICE behaved with the murder of 2 American citizens, with the constant knocking down of doors of American citizens without warrants, people dressed like they're, airlifting into Fallujah to do the legitimate work of going after illegal aliens in this country, and they say that is not okay.
I mean, when it comes to President Trump trying to just pay these TSA workers, yes, it's kind of legally complex, but it is just a temporary measure just to try to get something done. And it's just interesting that the Democrats keep bringing up ICE, which is already fully funded until 2029. But for some reason, Democrats, they cannot seem to understand that.
The Democrats' hatred for Donald Trump and for the good work that ICE has done in frankly, getting rid of people who are in this country illegally, they just can't tolerate that. And they're literally willing to shut down airports because of it. The facts are irrelevant here. Even though ICE is funded, they don't care. They want to. I mean, you heard Alexander Ocasio-Cortez. They need America to suffer so that they can try to prove their point. And I think that history will judge them harshly on this matter.
That is so unbelievably wrong. And, then we also have the Philly DA in Philadelphia says that he wants to arrest ICE agents and they should be jailed. Again, these are men and women just doing their job, trying to make America safer. But let's shift gears, Daniel. So Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson attending a No Kings protest. This was days after an illegal was charged for murdering a young American woman in that city. Here's what he says needs to be done.
It's pretty straightforward. We have to end the assaults against working people. We have to end the assaults against immigrants.
Again, no mention of Sheridan Gorman, just an innocent 18-year-old who was gunned down by simply just walking with her friends. The rhetoric of them wanting to abolish and end ICE and protect these illegals, Daniel, it's not ending.
Yeah, what we're seeing is that Chicago has long seen a lot of violence, unfortunately. And so this almost was like a good weekend in Chicago. You didn't have like a dozen murders. And so what's interesting about these No Kings protests is that this is the third time that Democrats and liberals have done this. And it is an impressive showing of millions of people on the streets. But you don't want to have a situation for Democrats where it's this collective therapy session. They feel that they're all that they're not alone, that it's much more a better use of their time to actually register voters and donate to politicians running against Republicans and do phone banking, not just march in the streets and kind of preach to the choir. And so these huge protests, they don't actually often lead to progress at the polls. And so Democrats may still win in November, but it's not going to be because of No Kings.
I mean, I have to admit, these protests are the most successful thing ever, because guess what? America, we don't have a king. So obviously these No Kings protests, they're doing very, very well. And then you've got Hollywood's Robert De Niro. He put a video out in response to No Kings Day. Let's take a look.
And for some time now, I start every morning depressed about the latest outrage from our would-be king. I mean, it's amazing. Every day there's something new and crazy. But it's different on this day, because all over the country, in cities and towns and factories and on farms, north, south, east, west, millions of us are coming together to declare No Kings. It is indeed a beautiful, hopeful day in the United States of America.
I mean, Matt, I'm sorry, that sounds like a very depressing life. If you're waking up and you're that depressed and upset every single day, what is wrong with these Hollywood elites?
Yeah, I'm sure that as his assistant is peeling his grapes and fanning him with his palm leaves, that he wakes up and feels so depressed. So, I mean, look, they tout their numbers, And they are large if you look at them numerically. But look, these are the silent majority of people were appalled by what they saw yesterday. The same people that are now touting no kings, or they hid their Palestinian flags and dusted off their Free Iran bumper stickers to get out there and protest. So there is a fringe in America. Unfortunately, it's a large fringe, and yesterday was their day, and the other 364 days are the rest of the day that we Americans will celebrate.
Well, they can. And speaking of looking at the images, my favorite image from yesterday was people in England and the UK joining for No Kings protest. Y'all do have a king over there. So that the irony of it was hilarious. Daniel Lippman, Matt Klink, gentlemen, fantastic discussion. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Alex.
All right.